Today we're going to be looking at how to change the status of an applicant as they move through the PageUp system. Changing an applicant status is very important because it's going to give you an accurate picture of where exactly each applicant is in the hiring process. Plus, if you change an applicant status throughout the process, it should save you a little time when you go to close out the job. Let's get started. We're logged in today as our favorite hiring coordinator, Harry Hire. And so the first thing we're going to do is come up here to the main menu, these three little bars here, and I'm going to click on that. Once that opens, I'm going to click on Manage Jobs near the bottom of this menu. And this is going to open up the jobs that I own or that I have access to. And so if we're going to change the status of an applicant, we've got to get to the applicants, right? There are several ways to do this, but the way I prefer is to click on the number under this applications column, and this will take us to the applicants who've applied to this particular position, which in this case is this test job here. And one thing I want you to notice is when we go into this applicant screen for the first time, we should see all the applicants in a new status. When I click on new here, I see all of the different statuses that an applicant can be placed in. Now, I will probably not have to move every applicant through every status. As you can see, we have put labels out beside some of these statuses to help you navigate through each phase of the hiring process. And we're going to talk about these labels in just a minute, but I want to show you how to actually change an applicant status. So we clicked on the applicant Jenny Ruler here as an example, and we are going to move Jenny into an under review for position status, which basically means that we have looked at Jenny's application materials and we have decided that she meets the minimum qualifications. So we're going to click on under review for position and click next. And it's going to tell us that we are moving Jenny Ruler from a status of new to status under review for position. And if that's correct, we're going to click on Move Now. And that should change Jenny's status here to under review for position. Now I want to show you an additional feature of this system when you move an applicant into a final status. Let's click on New for Rhonda Hamilton. And let's say after reviewing Rhonda's materials that we determine she does not meet the minimum qualifications. So let's click on that and next. Now a couple of things here. The first thing you see is an email that can be sent to Rhonda telling her that her application will not be moving further through the process. It's important to note here that we can choose to not send an email just simply by clicking no here at the top of the email. And that might be helpful, especially as you move further into the hiring process. You might prefer to call or send a more formal letter to those you've interviewed but were not selected for the job. The next thing I want to show you is if we scroll down here under the did not meet minimum qualifications reason, we have to select a reason why Rhonda did not meet the minimum qualifications. And so for this one, for this example, I'm just going to choose experience and I'm going to select Move Now. And when I click on Move Now, you should be able to see that Rhonda's status has changed to did not meet minimum qualification. You can also bulk move applicants into a status, and you do that the exact same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to click in these boxes here for these three applicants. We're going to come up to this drop down and we are going to select bulk move. Now the system's going to tell us or show us that we're fixed to do something with three applicants. And what do we want to do with them? So if those three applicants have met the minimum qualifications, we could click on under review for a position. If we find that they did not meet the minimum qualifications, we can click on that. And I'll just show you one thing here. I'm going to click next. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to bring up the email, but I want to show you right here under, again, the did not meet minimum qualifications reason. You're probably not going to be able to say, well, so-and-so for experience and so for education. So you're probably going to have to just select other and then click on move now. And that will change all three of the applicants to, in this case, did not meet minimum qualifications. Really quickly, let's go back to the status list and talk about just these labels that we discussed earlier. And you can think about this as just the various stages that an applicant is going to move through the process. So we have the screening process where we determine whether or not the applicant meets the minimum qualifications. After we screen the applicants, we're going to invite some of those applicants for interview. And you can see that there's 3 stages of the interview here. Once that we want to make an offer to one of those that we interviewed, we move into the offer stage of preparing an offer and making an online offer, and then just awaiting to see whether that candidate chose to accept or decline. If the offer is accepted, then the system takes over for us just a little bit until the applicant fills in the MSU onboarding form. And this is a system status that the system will automatically move an applicant into. As a hiring coordinator, we should not move an applicant into the MSU onboarding form complete status, as HR won't know the candidate accepted the offer and therefore couldn't assign an MSU ID number. Finally, we would mark the candidate as hired and close the job. And we'll review closing the job in another video. So just be aware that whenever an applicant is moved into one of these final statuses, that applicant will typically not move further through the process. So pay close attention when moving an applicant into a final status. So that's it. Hope you understand a little bit more about moving an applicant through the various stages throughout the hiring process. Of course, if you have any questions, you can contact your HR generalist, and a list of the generalists can be found at hrm.msstate.edu. Thanks so much.